Picture this: a world where empires weren't just built with armies, but with ideas, visions, cultures, and dreams of grandeur. Where the might of kings wasn't simply measured by the sword they wielded, but by their ability to shape entire civilizations. Imagine a land that stretched from the mystic sands of Egypt across the fertile crescent of Mesopotamia and reached the towering peaks of India, a land that was not just a collection of cities, but an empire so vast, so powerful, that it seemed like a legend unfolding before the eyes of the ancient world. This was Persia, a place where history was written with every step, every battle, and every moment of greatness. Welcome to the land of Persia, an empire like no other, whose story began over 2,500 years ago, but still echoes throughout history. Under the leadership of Cyrus the Great, Persia rose from humble beginnings to become the largest empire the world had ever seen. At its height, the Achaemenid Empire spanned over an astonishing 5.5 million square kilometers, stretching across 3 continents and commanding a population of approximately 44 million people. This was a land of diverse peoples, cultures, and beliefs, a mosaic of humanity that would later set the stage for the modern world. Can you feel the weight of that legacy? The stories of royal feasts and palaces, the scent of incense wafting through the royal gardens, and the battles fought by armies that seemed invincible? The grandeur of Persia was not just in its military might, but in its intellectual, artistic, and architectural achievements. For example, the Royal Road, stretching over 2,500 kilometers, was a marvel of engineering, a superhighway for messengers, merchants, and soldiers that enabled the swift movement of people and goods. A vital artery that kept the empire connected from Susa to the far reaches of India. But Persia's rise wasn't without its challenges. The legendary Greco-Persian Wars brought the empire into conflict with the Greek city-states. The epic Battle of Marathon in 490 BC was a momentous event where the Persian forces, despite their numerical superiority, were unexpectedly defeated by the Athenians. Yet, Persia's resilience was undeniable. The very next year, under King Xerxes, Persia launched a second invasion in a bid to conquer Greece. The infamous Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC saw King Leonidas and his Spartan warriors make their stand, while the Persians ultimately prevailed. Yet, the Greek naval victory at Salamis turned the tide. These wars marked the limits of Persian expansion, but didn't erase its brilliance from the annals of history. Despite the defeat, Persia remained a giant, a cultural powerhouse, a land of innovation, governance, and imperial administration. It wasn't just about military victories. It was about an enduring legacy of religious tolerance and political innovation. The Battle of Plataea in 479 BCE, where the Greek forces decisively defeated the Persian army, marked the end of the direct Persian threat to Greece. But Persia was far from defeated. It was a nation built on adaptability, and its influence would persist long after these wars ended. The Achaemenid Empire's golden age, however, came to an abrupt and tragic end in 330 BCE, when Alexander the Great, seeking to avenge Greece, marched east, conquering the mighty Persian Empire. The grand city of Persepolis, the jewel of Persian civilization, was sacked and burned to the ground. The flames that consumed Persepolis also symbolize the end of an era. Yet even in defeat, Persia's legacy could not be erased. Its influences lived on through the Hellenistic era, where Persian culture blended with Greek and ideas flowed across continents, shaping the ancient world for centuries to come. Though the Achaemenid Empire fell, the idea of Persia never truly died. Through the Parthians and the Sassanids, Persia's influence continued. And in the 20th century, Iran experienced a resurgence of power, culture, and influence. But it would take a revolution to see its transformation. In 1905, the Constitutional Revolution set the stage for a new political landscape. And by 1979, the Islamic Revolution upended the monarchy, giving rise to the Islamic Republic of Iran. The shift from the imperial past to an Islamic future would define Iran's modern identity, marked by conflict and resilience. Today, Iran is a country brimming with complexity. A population of 85 million people, making it the most populous nation in the Middle East after Egypt. While Iran's borders cover just 1.65 million square kilometers, it holds considerable sway on the world stage. Iran's role as a key geopolitical player can't be overstated. Iran is both a regional power and a strategic ally or adversary to various international players. Its military might, which includes one of the largest armies in the region, is augmented by cutting-edge technologies and a network of proxy forces. Iran's influence is particularly pronounced in countries such as Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, where it supports various non-state actors aligned with its interests. The Iran-Iraq War of 1980 to 1988 was a defining moment in modern Iran's history. Iraq, led by Saddam Hussein, invaded Iran after the fall of the Pahlavi monarchy, triggering one of the bloodiest wars in the modern Middle East. An estimated 1 million people perished in the conflict, which, despite the devastation, ended in a stalemate, reinforcing Iran's resolve and reshaping its military strategies for decades. The war also intensified Iran's political isolation from the West, which continues to have far-reaching implications today. Post-war, Iran's Islamic government has faced numerous challenges. From dealing with internal unrest to facing economic sanctions, Iran has endured periods of intense international scrutiny. But through it all, Iran's identity, rich with its Persian legacy, remains a dominant force in shaping the future of the region. So, where does Iran go from here? How does this country, rooted deeply in its ancient history, navigate the turbulent waters of the modern world? With its rich history, strategic location, and an unyielding desire to maintain its influence, Iran's future is far from predictable. Yet, what remains undeniable is this: the legacy of ancient Persia is embedded in the fabric of modern Iran. While the methods, technologies, and political systems may have evolved, the heart and soul of Persian identity, its sense of resilience, innovation, and cultural richness, continues to shape its path forward. And so, Iran stands at the crossroads of the past and the future, forever connected to the ancient empire that once ruled the world, yet constantly adapting to the changing tides of the modern era. The question is no longer just what Persia was, but what Iran will become in the coming years. Will it rise again as a superpower on the global stage? Or will it navigate the complexities of the 21st century to secure a new legacy? Only time will tell.